Hi, my name is Lucia, and I'm here to provide a speech for my public speaking class. And the theme that I have chosen is why computers are the most important invention of the 20th century. We all have to agree that most of us, not everybody, agrees that computers are the most important invention of the 20th century. Integrated circuitry and communications through wire, how data is transmitted over through a wire, has really transformed the world. Initially, we know that governments have had access to communications, and it has been a privilege to communicate with one another through systems of radio communications and data. Thanks to the initiative of the governments and that decided to share the wonders of communication and the power of communication with the world. Here we are today. The computers were systems before that were particularly or specifically controlled through large servers. There were large servers with data, and those servers were in a particular area, and we had what were called non-intelligent terminals, which was just a screen with no memory or no um, actual tower attached to the visual element. We were able to communicate at a commercial level. When the personal computer came about, that's when the real revolution began. With the emergence of the personal computer, we were able to develop programs for accuracy and efficiency. So software programs were began to develop, and people were working really hard to find systems of efficient methods to record transactions, to record data. It was a really difficult time for software developers because there were just a few people trying to figure out how did operating systems came about. Then we got the Windows system in agreement with IBM, and thanks to the support of IBM and the structural systems of IBM XTAT, we were able to then grow into the networking system that we have today. How did that happen? That happened also with independent modems that were attached to the personal computers, and eventually communications began to increase. The internet actually brought about a significant amount of change that we saw over time, and how people began to connect and to actually communicate electronically. Nowadays, we have social networks, education networks, banking networks. In other words, we are connected through computers at every single level that we can possibly imagine. Family, friends, mobile technologies, wireless networks, you name it. Right now, our whole entire world is just an overflowing amount of data and signals that travel either through space, through satellite, through wire communications at the speed of light in order to function. But on the other hand, what are the disadvantages of computer technologies? One of the disadvantages of computer technologies is the physical structure. Of course, we have servers that are accumulating data somewhere that we actually do not know. Where we have the supercomputers, we actually store every single transaction, every single action that every human being takes on a computer on a daily basis. But in reality, all this movement that we actually produce through virtual networks is the world of virtuality, which is the world of intangibility and the world of invisibility. So even though in our intellectual rationale we're moving and we're actually communicating through mobile technologies, through all sorts of systems, the reality is that we are lacking the physical structures that actually sustain information over time. Just 40 years ago, I was able to go to a library and just get all of the information that I needed through accessing library or any commercial institution that will supply the information. Right now, we're driving away from paper. We're becoming more and more paperless, and by which the information that we have in the computers stored somewhere in a server are available to us, but are not really accessible. Just in 1 second, we can become the most isolated citizens, individuals, and systems at any moment in time, just by the cut of a wire and just by the inability of a transponder to work. How are we going to solve these challenges? If we're running a system, if we're taking a class, if we need a book, if we exist in a virtual world, which is the world of intangibility and invisibility, what kind of sustained backup system are we developing to actually sustain operational um, sustainability over time? Now we're even being furthered by the cloud technologies, which the word it says is a cloud. It's a cloud. It's almost like a the medieval times in which you had a castle which held all of the power, information, and structure, and structure, and you had like a lake or um, a water body that actually separated the castle from the rest of the world, and in order to access it, there was only certain elements that we could use to actually get in there, and that was just one door. So the same thing is with the world of virtual communications. I can only do this because I have one wire. The moment that I don't have that wire and can no longer operate within the integrated systems of virtual networks. And that's something to think about. So yes, computers do actually have changed the world, how we operate, the amount of information, the amount of advancement, the amount of accuracy, efficiency, and efficacy. We can not deny those elements of advancement. But then, on the other hand, as we progress into the world of intangibility and invisibility, what guarantees do we have that can sustain our global structure over time? This is Lucia. I'm reporting from Madrid, Spain, and you all have a great day. I hope I see you again. Thank you very much.